going to continue from the notes. Okay, we're just going to write the given and the plan, or not the, sorry, the given and the prove. All right, and then I will show you how many steps. I want you to try to see if you can figure this one out on your own today. Okay, so I would definitely write this in your notes. All right, when we get this given and prove written down, then I will show you how many steps there are. I believe here. It will be 6. 6 statements, 6 reasons. Okay, so get that written down, and then we will look at that together. All right, so you got 12 boxes to fill. You should automatically know 3 of them. I flipped to the, it was 6. 6 statements, 6 reasons. I'll show it in a second. Okay, remember, do not write the plan. You do not need to know the plan. It's a proof. You're welcome. All right. It should look something like this, okay, if that helps you out. Did you watch the video yesterday?
No, I was actually kind of busy. Yeah, and like throwing up.
Okay, you don't need to tell me this, actually.
Well, just thought I should give you a reason.
All right, so see if you can figure it out. I want you to try this on your own, all right, and then we will talk about it. But one thing that you could do is use previous proofs to help you out. I just want to see what you guys put.
I actually didn't get it written down.
Well, look at her notes. So what do we have to do for the next step?
See, I would, but I can't write. What's the given?
Oh, okay. It was on the last slide. I gave you time to write it down, but it doesn't look like you got it written down.
I don't have a notebook.
How? We're like 3 months in.
Not even true. It's been a month.
I'm so confused.
Yeah, it makes me sound like a terrible person.
Well, so eventually, like where we're proving, we have to get to this. Okay? So go back to that real quick. What is this? We have to describe this. Oh. Look at the supplementary one we did yesterday. Because it'll be very similar.
Is this one the definition of complementary? What is complementary? Isn't complementary where they equal each other?
No.
Oh, it's where they equal one
No.
You're lying.
No, it's something else.
Why don't you just do like transitive because like I don't know.
No, not quite.
I don't know.
No, because your givens are together. Mhm. Yeah.
Is this right? Am I thinking?
No, I think the givens are together. Well, we'll see in a second. All right. Who thinks? Okay, let's quiet down. Let's look at this together. All right. Who thinks they know what our first statement is? Yeah, Jordan. Perfect. It's frozen. My bad. Okay. All right. And then how did we know that? Because we were given. All right. So there is our reason. Okay. Now we got to remember we're describing this like someone doesn't know what like these words mean. So how do we explain what complementary means? What does that mean? Yeah. Yeah. If they're complementary, we need to explain that the two angles added together equal 90. Okay? We did that same thing with supplementary yesterday, but this time we're explaining it complementary. All right? Who thinks they know what reason it is for this one? Yeah, Julian? Perfect. Definition of complementary angles. All right. Who thinks they have an idea of what we do next? Yeah, Maddie? Perfect. Okay. We can do this because angle 1 plus angle 2 equals 90 up here on step 2, and then angle 2 plus angle 3 equals 90 as well. So we can equal them to each other. All right, and what did you put for your reason there, Maddie? Substitution. Perfect. Okay. So that's just going to be substitution. All right. And if you look, this one's looking very similar to the one we did with supplementary angles yesterday. All right, it's just talking about complementary. Okay, so what about our next step? What can we say? Someone other than Maddie. Yeah. Not quite. You're missing a step. Not quite. We're missing, yeah, Maddie. Angle 2 equal, measure of angle 2 equals the measure of angle 2. Okay? And what was the reason for this, Julian? Oh. It'd have to be 2. Because what's our reason for this one? What's our reason, Maddie? Yeah, this is reflexive. Okay? We can say they equal each other, all right, because they're going to be the same value. Okay, so we got to explain that in order to do our next step. Okay, so Crocker, what's the next step going to be? Yeah, the measure of angle 1 equals the measure of angle 3. And what did you get for your reason? Subtraction. Okay? That's supposed to be subtraction, not substitution. Sorry. But no, that's subtraction. Okay? Because we're subtracting the two angle 2's out, and that leaves us with angle 1 equals angle 3. All right? So just know that's subtraction, not substitution. Okay? Finally, how do we know what our last statement is? Yeah, it's the proof. So what is the proof? Yeah. Angle 1 is congruent to angle 3, and then what's our reason? No, it's not given. It's not, we never put prove. Definition of congruent angles. Okay. We're just going from equal to congruent, so that's just definition of congruent angles. Okay. Because really, it's just saying equals to congruent. All right. It's pretty much the same thing, but we got to make sure we're changing that to congruent because it's telling us When it's congruent, you don't need m. When it's equal, it'll be the measure of. Okay, do we have any questions there? All right, again, if you look at the supplementary one we did yesterday, this is like the exact same thing, just complementary. Yeah.
They like usually do the same, like if it was like complimentary, like the order usually be the same.
As the supplementary? Mm-hmm. Well, it just depends, but in this case, yes. Okay, because this was saying almost the same exact thing, just instead of supplementary, it said complementary. Okay? Let's look at this one. So the image kind of covers it a little bit. Sorry about that. But we need to come up with the reasons. So this is going to be all your statements. All right, we're going to come up with the reasons on this one. Okay, so it's saying it's showing your measure of angle ABC is there. And it's telling us that the measure of angle 1 equals 4m, or equals 4. Oh, it's covering it. That's why. Let me fix this. All right, sorry. Now look at this, okay? ABC equals 90 degrees. All right, the measure of angle, why is it saying that? Yeah, is 4 times the measure of angle 2. Okay. So we got all the reasons there, or sorry, all the statements there. And we have to come up with the reasons. So go ahead and get those written down. All right, and then make your 2-column proof. Write all the statements down. All right, and see if you can come up with those reasons. Maybe that will help a little bit. That should be simplified. Yeah, I'll have to double check and see what it says. Go back to your step 2. Yeah. It's not quite subtraction. Because it's not subtracting anything. Like, it's just explaining. How do we explain what this is? How do we know? It's a little. This one's a little confusing. It's like 4 times the measure of angle 2. It's not taken out here because measure 1 equals 4 times the measure of 2. It'll be a postulate. How do we know that these 2 angles added together equal that? You'll see it in a second, and once you see it, then it'll be like, okay, it makes a little bit more sense. But it's like we're just stating that that works. Yeah. Because like if you just go from this to this, it's like, how do we just know that? So that's why we use this step, and then you do, substitute there. All right, let's go ahead and look at this, okay? My first statement, okay, is the measure of angle ABC equals 90 degrees, and the measure of angle 1 equals 4 times the measure of angle 2. Okay, what's my reason going to be for this one? All right, given. Okay, perfect. All right. The words aren't directly even, but just know, okay, given goes with the first one. All right, next one. I says I have the measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 2 equals the measure of angle ABC. All right, how do I know this? Okay, it is like the obvious, but what was that word that we used? Yeah, postulate. What kind of postulate? What are we doing to the angles? I don't know what you guys said. What are we doing to the angles? What are we doing with angle 1 and angle 2? We're adding them, so it's just angle addition postulate. Okay, that's the second step. So just know these two go together. So it's angle addition postulate, okay? So just know, okay, we know the two angles added together are going to equal the whole angle, okay? So they're just like adjacent angles. That's what it's explaining. Okay, what's my next step going to be? Now we have 4 times the measure of angle 2 plus the measure of angle 2 equals 90. Yep. Yeah, we're just substituting. Okay, so substitution, we're just substituting our values from the given into our angle addition postulate. Okay, so I have 4 times the measure of angle 2 plus the measure of angle 2 equals 90 degrees. It's just stating the truth, okay? Like we know it's true. We briefly talked about it. We did talk about it in chapter 1. Yeah. All right, next I have 5m. Now I have 5 times the measure of angle 2 equals 90. How do I get this? It adds these together, but is that going to be addition property? This should be simplify. Okay? It's only addition property if you're adding to both sides of the equal sign. Okay? So if it's adding on the same side, we're just going to put simplify. Okay? And then finally, I have the measure of angle 2 equals 18. How do we get that, Maddie? Yep, division property. Okay? We just divide by 5. 90 divided by 5, and we get 18. Perfect. There you go. Good job. All right, let's look at another example. Go ahead and write this one down. All right, remember, just write the given, the proof. See if you can figure it out. It's going to be, oops, never mind. I almost just showed the answers. I think it's just 3 steps. I will check. Yep, it is just 3 steps. So, yeah, 3 statements, 3 reasons, and you should automatically know 3 of them. So there you go. You know, you know half. Use the plan to help you. You don't have to write it down, but use that to help you because it does give you a big hint. It literally tells you actually what to do. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can use the photo to help you. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like in some case, like the complimentary one, you don't really need the photos. But like if in cases like this, you'd have a photo. Because it wouldn't make any sense if you just were given 4 angles. What? Yeah. All right, let's give this one a try. Okay. All right, what is my first statement going to be? Yeah. Yep, that's going to be given. Okay. On here, I guess it's actually 4 steps because it skips it. So my fault. So on your next one, okay, when you're looking at the image here, all right, how can I say that angle 1 and angle 2, and then angle 1 and angle 4 are supplementary? Yeah. Not quite. Yeah, Maddie? That would be like the third step out of the 4 we'll have. Yeah. You would have that as the given, okay? But what can I say about these 2 angles? With 1 and 2, what can I say about these 2? What are they? They're supplementary, but what else can I say about these 2? Well, yes, they equal. They're what? They're a linear pair. Okay? Okay, so I can say angle 1 and angle 2 are supplementary, and angle 2 and angle 4 are supplementary. Or sorry, angle 1 and 4. Because they're linear pairs. So this is what you should end up doing. It does not have the given, so just know it's 4 steps. Okay? So you could say that those angles are supplementary because they're linear pairs. All right? Then you got to explain what supplementary means. So then you got to explain, okay, angle 1 plus angle 2 equals 180. All right, and that's just the definition of supplementary. Angle 1 plus angle 4 equals 180. That's the definition of supplementary. And then you can equal them to each other and get substitution. Okay? So even if you look at this, these 3 steps almost look exactly identical to that supplementary proof we did yesterday. All right? So see how those steps are all very similar with the same reasons? All right? This one, I don't know why it doesn't show the given, so my fault on that. But just know it's 4 steps. All right, it has that given on top. Yeah. So just be aware of that. Uh-huh. Because we don't need to talk about 4 and 3. Because we're not proving anything with that. Where is the angle thing I wanted to do? Oh, here we go. All right, we are going to do one last one, okay? So let's look at this one. All right, see your given in your proof. You're given some statements, some reasons. All right, and we're going to figure out the rest of that. Yep. Okay. All right, this will be the last proof that we go over today. All right, on this one, okay? When we look at this image, what does it kind of look like? Yeah, the things on the ground, okay? Like our angled transversals, okay? But the thing is we can't say this is an angled transversal because we're not told if these two lines are parallel, okay? So we can't just say 1 and 4 are alternate interior, okay? We can't say 2 and 3 are alternate exterior, all right? Because we're not told those two lines are parallel, okay? But there's a different way that we can figure this out, all right? For my first statement, what am I going to put? Yeah. Yeah. To angle what? 4, yep. Angle 1 is congruent to angle 4. What's my reason going to be? Given. Perfect. Okay. Now it says for my next statement, it says angle 1 is congruent to angle 2. Yes, Maddie, what do you think our reason is going to be? 1 and 2 are not linear pairs. But what can we say about them? They're vertical angles. So this would be like vertical angle theorem. I'm just going to put vertical angle. Okay. All right. If you want to make sure you tell yourself it's a theorem, you can do that. But just know they're vertical angles. So that's why we can say that. Okay. So now we need to come up with our statement, and it's going to be using transitive property. So who has an idea of what my next statement is going to be based on transitive property? Yeah, Rebecca? Yeah, Maddie? Say it louder, please. Angle 2 is congruent to angle 4. Okay? Because what the transitive property does, it's like if A equals B, all right? And then, yeah, if it was like A equals B and B equals C, then A equals C. Okay? It would be something just like that, and that's what the angles are doing. Yeah. You need to know them. Okay? Now for the next one, it says angle 3 is congruent to angle 4. All right, what can we say about these two? Yeah, Julian? Yeah. These are also vertical angles. Okay? Perfect. And then finally, what's my last statement going to be? Yeah, Maddie? What angle? Not quite. It needs to be what we're proving. So angle 2 is congruent to angle 3. Okay? And that's based on transitive property again. All right, do we see how we got that? Okay, so what your quiz will look like on Wednesday is it'll have some algebraic proofs, okay, and it'll have some geometric proofs, all right? The thing is they are not on Delta Math, okay? So the biggest advice I would give is look at your examples that you have written in your notes, okay? Because maybe on the test, all I'm going to be doing is just changing like angle numbers, all right? Or I'll just change the values of those algebraic ones. All right, maybe we had to find some values of an angle. I'll just change those angle degrees. Okay, but you just need to understand what those steps are. I'll tell you how many steps there are. All right, but sometimes I'll give you all the statements. You got to find the reasons. Maybe you're given all the reasons. You got to do the statements. Maybe you have to find everything. Okay, and then don't forget, I'm going to let you review for the last 10 minutes, but there'll be some point slope questions as well. Does anyone remember the point slope form? Yeah. Uh-huh. Nope, that's slope intercept. Yeah. M times x minus x1. Okay, yeah. Yes. Last statement is always the proof.